It has now been a year since a desperate act by a Zephyr Hills High School junior. Driven by despair, Zachary Gray did something that raises questions the Pasco school system refuses to answer. His parents came to us for help. Tonight, in an 8 on Your Side investigation, reporter Mark Douglas reveals what happened to Zachary Gray. And we should warn you, there are some graphic and disturbing elements to this story.
Zachary Gray was supposed to graduate from high school next month. But instead of a diploma, his parents hope Zach will learn to walk and talk again. 4 days a week, he goes to a rehab center called the Chamber of Hope for hyperbaric oxygen therapy.
It's okay, buddy.
A year ago, Zephyr Hills High School suspended Zach for a prank. That same day, his parents say, other students taunted Zach about his weight and his sexuality. He went home and hung himself. His mother performed CPR.
It was hell, because everybody was pulling me away. And I just wanted to save him. It was horrible. And then to find out that he was being bullied at school and nobody called me. They'd known about it for months.
Ironically, Zach's high school girlfriend says he reveled in school spirit. He was even the school mascot. But his mother says in the emergency room, while his survival was still in question, teachers told her how students taunted Zach with hurtful names.
Gay Zach, fag, queer, nonstop every day.
He couldn't walk down the hallways without somebody saying something to him. I mean, how can you go through school like that?
Zach's parents demanded an explanation. The school system interviewed one teacher who said Zach told her about the gay taunting. She told him to ignore it, and that was that.
They're supposed to report that to the principal. They're supposed to call the parents.
Family attorney Robin Allwise says it's the law.
It must be reported and then report it to the family.
Zach's parents say teachers only told them after Zach hung himself.
They say it was hell for Zach. Pure hell.
They say Superintendent Heather Fiorentino promised them a full investigation. That was a year ago.
They won't return our phone calls. They won't even talk to us anymore. And that's sad.
The superintendent's office says Pasco high schools average about 1 bully incident every 2 years or so. They've recorded 2 such incidents here at Zephyr Hills High School so far this year, and only 1 all of last year. Do you think that's accurate?
I have to be honest, I mean, I think it's ludicrous.
Dr. Roy Kaplan is a sociologist and retired USF professor who wrote a book on how schools breed frustration, anger, and violence. Kaplan spent 15 years teaching tolerance in area schools, including Zephyr Hills High. He says bullies are everywhere.
It's a very serious issue, and it accounts for hundreds of thousands of absentees every day in the United States, and misery.
Tony Gray knows all about the misery.
You can look in his eyes and he knows you're there, he'll smile at you, but he can't hug you. He can't say, I love you. He'll cry when you leave the room. It's hard.
Zach shows small signs of improvement from his therapy, but his parents say he will never be the same again. Meanwhile, the Federal Department of Education has just stepped in during the past couple weeks to begin a civil rights investigation to determine if Zach and other students were the target of bullies because of gender issues and whether the school system ignored that problem. Gail.
Tonight, investigative reporter Mark Douglas shows us what happened to another student who attended a different Pasco school. We want to warn you ahead of time. The video you're about to see is disturbing. There is language you may not want children to hear, and the outcome is tragic.
According to the official record of the Pasco School District, the bullying you're about to see unfold on Pasco School Bus 315 never happened. The school district blurred this surveillance video for the privacy of students, but you can still tell the boy on the left can't keep his hands to himself. Before long, he's standing up, sitting in the aisle, and cussing at other students. The driver threatens to write a referral.
You've been sitting in the middle of the floor. Yeah, use a bad language, standing up. You leave me no choice.
Despite the driver's threat, the boy begins to bully a girl.
Would you stop it? Leave her hair
Minutes later, he picks 15-year-old Kieffer Allen, a straight-A freshman, as his next target. Kieffer is quietly minding his own business until the bully sits on him. The assault escalates. Another boy restrains Kieffer's feet while he struggles to break free. Several students on the bus later describe what happens next as a simulated sexual assault.
I'm tickling him! I'm tickling him!
The two boys joke about raping Kieffer.
Hey, let's just rape him when he gets off the bus. Okay, that sounds like fun. Sticking your penis in something. Yeah, fun.
Moments later, everyone gets up for the final bus stop. On his way out, the bully has a final word with the driver.
I'm just being nice. Yeah.
Kieffer is the last one off. He doesn't say anything to his mother or big sister about what happened on bus 315. 4 hours after the assault, Kieffer sends them both the same 3-word text, "I love you." Minutes later, Kieffer shoots himself in the head, and he is dead.
We do believe it's directly related to the bullying.
Family attorney David Torella says a number of boys tormented Kieffer at Sun Lake High School starting on the first day of classes, and educators did nothing to stop it. Kieffer suffered a concussion in a school beating months before the bus incident. Torella thinks the bus assault made Kieffer snap.
It wasn't consensual. He wasn't involved. This wasn't a tickle fest. This was kids coming up and verbally and physically assaulting him in a very vile and graphic way.
Not according to the Pasco School District. The district reported to the state that Sun Lake High had 0 bully incidents last year when this happened.
It's clear that that young man was bullied.
We showed the school bus video to State Senator Mike Fasano.
He's literally sitting on him.
Pasco County Schools reported a grand total of 28 bully incidents last year for the entire school district. Fasano doesn't buy it, nor does he believe the district's other claim that Pasco high schools average just 1 bully incident every other year.
Even back when I was in high school, bullying went on more than just once every other year. I don't care what high school you're in, I don't care what school district you're in, it happens.
We don't know what happened to the bully in this case, except that prosecutors decided not to charge him or his accomplice with battery against Kieffer Allen. We've just been told by the school system that the driver of the bus that did nothing inappropriate. Now, Kieffer's mother says she's troubled that no one in the Pasco school system takes responsibility for what happened to her son. And now Senator Fasano is starting to ask questions why Pasco County's bully statistics are so incredibly low compared to other counties. Gail?
Well, we talked about this last week, Mark, and state law requires school districts to track this very thing. So what is the point?
Well, the point is, if you don't know you have a problem, how are you going to fix it? Kids are dying here. Other school districts like Hillsborough and Pinellas report hundreds of bully incidents. Palm Beach reports thousands. Pasco claims 28. Unless there's something magical happening in that county, those numbers are pure fiction. And if nothing else, Gail, that's against the law.
Well, you know, we said at the beginning what we were about to see was disturbing, and boy, was it.
Yes, it is, especially the outcome.
All right, Mark, thank you.
Tonight, investigative reporter Mark Douglas tells us what Pasco County's top educator has to say about the bullying problem in her schools, and we do want to warn you this story may not be suitable for children.
And I will just tell you, our hearts go out to those families.
Pasco School Superintendent Heather Fiorentino says because of threatened lawsuits, she can't discuss whether school bullies led to Zach Gray's attempted suicide last year.
It's okay. Yeah.
Or whether this school bus assault of Kieffer Allen prompted him to fatally shoot himself hours later.
Hey, let's just rape him when he gets off the bus. Okay, that sounds like fun. Sticking your penis in something. Yeah, fun.
The bus driver did nothing to intercede. How is that protecting that child or any other child?
I can't speak specifically to that case. However, what I can say to you is we do have procedures in place, and all procedures were done.
But parents of both boys blame the Pasco school system for letting bullies prey on their sons.
I'm amazed. I don't understand where they're coming from.
Superintendent Fiorentino says, strictly speaking, Pasco schools don't have a bully problem. but teasing and taunting abounds.
We have 850 of those. But what happens at that point, our student services team then works with the principals and we try to stop and provide interventions.
The Pasco School District told the state there were just 28 bully incidents last year compared to hundreds or even thousands in other districts.
This is something we're working on to make sure that we're all, meaning every county, is reporting it the same way, and the state is saying we aren't.
Fiorentino says her district has a low bully count because it's smaller than other districts, and other districts define bullying differently. But state law says there's only one definition: systematically and chronically inflicting physical hurt or psychological distress. That's exactly what Zach Gray's father says happened to his son at Zephyr Hills High.
It's flat out bullying. I mean, the school's in denial.
Kieffer Allen's mother says his torment by bullies from Sun Lake High started with a bus stop beating 4 months before the bus assault.
Look at my son. If you watch the video, you can see right there that he was bullied.
Under Fiorentino's counting system, Sun Lake and Zephyr Hills didn't have even a single bully incident last year when Kieffer died and Zach almost did. And the Pasco School District makes another claim even the state says is incredible. Half of the county's public schools reported 0 incidents of fighting, harassment, intimidation, and 20 other dangerous behaviors. How can half your schools have not even a single safety indicator to report to the state?
I don't have that data right in front of me. I'd have to look at that, and I'd honestly have to get back with you on that answer.
The superintendent may have to get back to a lot of people. In response to our 8 on Your Side investigation, a number of parents contacted us to say that Pasco educators ignore their bully complaints and fail to protect their children. Titania Licorice and Lindsay Rivera both attend Wiregrass Ranch High. Both girls say bullies beat them at school in unrelated attacks 2 months ago. Titania's mother is moving her daughter to another school.
She has a right to an education, and she has a right to feel safe in her environment on where she's getting that education.
This week, Lindsay's father told the school board he forewarned administrators a bully planned to attack his daughter the same day it happened.
My daughter was beat up at school, had a broken wrist, concussion, black eye, busted lip, and all they could tell me is, we can't watch 2,000 kids and 64 acres. And I said, all you had to do is watch one.
Rivera says the torment hasn't stopped.
She just sent my daughter Sunday another Facebook thread. It's telling her that they're gonna put her in a body bag, her and another girl now.
That has me very concerned. And as you know, I haven't had a chance to call the principal back, but that will be a phone call that we'll be making.
The bottom line here is that Superintendent Fiorentino says Pasco schools don't have a bully problem, and that's contrary to what we keep hearing from a growing number of parents, students, and even teachers in that county. The superintendent did tell me her staff will be training school administrators this summer to make sure they report bully behavior in a uniform way, and she also thanked us for bringing this issue to the forefront, Josh.
So, Mark, I guess the big question is, does this end the controversy?
I don't think so, not by any stretch. For example, tomorrow morning at 9:20, the Grays and their attorney will appear live on CNN to talk about their son, Zachary. There is a civil rights investigation underway by the Federal Department of Education triggered by Zachary's case, and we're still digging as more viewers call us or email us with their stories. So, Josh, I don't think it's over by any means.
All right, Mark Douglas, thank you very much for that report tonight.
You're welcome.